One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Trump, everybody they know, they go vote for Donald Trump, that's the way it goes. All over America, all over the USA, they voted for Donald Trump, that's what I'm trying to say. Election is over, everyone can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country. Election is over, everyone can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country. I want to make America great again.
Woo!
I want to lower the taxes. I want to bring all American business back from overseas back to the USA, baby.
There we go.
Ooh, yeah. Donald Trump is now the president of your country. Election is over. Everybody can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country. Election is over. Everyone can see. Donald Trump is now the president of your country.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the evening edition of Fanfare with Barry Cunningham. Before I begin, I want to make a quick announcement. The other day, when I was talking about Elon Musk and something he posted on X, and I said, it's kind of, look away if you don't want to see what I'm about to show you. And then I said, be sure you look away. And still some people decided to look. And one of the people that had a problem and said she was unsubscribing was a woman named Faith Taylor. And many of us have known Faith for quite some time. And we're like, oh, not Faith. I can't believe Faith got upset. Well, it happened to be a different Faith. So if you see Faith Taylor in the chat tonight, say hi to her. It wasn't her. It was somebody else. And thank God somebody that involved in our community didn't get upset with what they saw. So Faith Taylor, it was a different Faith Taylor. But nonetheless, we're back. We're back for a second edition. And I got some news for you.
Breaking news into the Fanfare news feed.
All right. So here's what we got. Trump is out there already kicking butt and taking names. And what he's doing is already making ripples across I wouldn't just say America. I'm saying what he's doing is probably going to make ripples across the world. You've seen this piece before. It was prior to the election. But I want you to listen very closely to this again.
And of course it's a bargaining chip. We can't sell a Ford or GM in Europe. You go to Europe, you can't sell a Ford or GM. Why? There's 100% tariffs. How about in Japan? 100% tariffs. So do you think if we said, we're going to tariff you the way you tariff us, do you think they're going to allow Mercedes and all these Japanese companies and Porsches and BMWs to all of a sudden have 100% tariffs in America? Of course not. They're going to come and negotiate, and their tariffs are going to come down. And finally, Ford and General Motors are going to be able to sell in these places.
How's that sound?
Of course they're going to come down. Of course. This is just negotiating.
It absolutely makes sense. If you do it strategically, if it's across the board, it creates a real problem. And the question is whether you believe the president is going to do it strategically or across the board. He keeps saying it across the board.
Well, when you're running for office, you make broad statements so people understand you.
Right.
Okay? Tariffs are an amazing tool by the president to use. They're an amazing tool, but he understands don't tariff stuff we don't make. Right? If we don't make it, and you want to buy it, I don't want to put the price up there. It's pointless, but use tariffs to build in America. If we want to make it in America, tariff it, or if we're competing with it, tariff it. But you got to remember, we need to protect the American worker. Finally, someone's going to protect the American worker, and Donald Trump is here to protect the American worker.
Do you think we make a lot of money in tariffs, or if they're used as negotiating tactics? Look, tariffs will come down there. We're not going to have super high tariffs here either. There's not going to be.
That's a big point to remember as we move forward. Are you doing it to make money, or is it a negotiation ploy? Sometimes it can be both, but let her continue.
A big pot of money at the end of the day.
I love that story. So which is it? Do we make a lot of money on tariffs, or we bring productivity here and we drive up our workers here? So it's a win-win scenario. I like both of them. I think what's going to happen is we'll make a bunch of money on the tariffs, but mostly everybody else is going to negotiate with us, and we will be more fair. In 1948, right, we came up with something called the Marshall Plan, right? The world, Germany and Japan were destroyed after World War II, and we wanted to export our economy to them. So we made a rule. They could tariff us, and we won't tariff them. So they can rebuild.
This is the best explanation I've heard of.
So they can rebuild their economy. We rebuilt their economy using something called the Marshall Plan. Yeah. Our economy is so awesome that we'll use it to help you rebuild. When should that have ended? What do you think, 1980? Right? 1985? I mean, why 40 years are Japan and Germany and all of Europe still tariffing the heck out of our auto industry, tariffing the heck out of our furniture industry? Do you realize all your furniture you're buying that's made foreign? It seems crazy. Why? It's because they tariff us and we don't tariff them. It's so obvious.
So Trump has decided he's going to give some countries a little bit notice. Remember, he doesn't even get inaugurated until January 20th or so. But that's not stopping him from letting people know, I'm coming for you. You got 56 days to get your crap in order or else. Trump posted this a little while ago. As everyone is aware, thousands of people are pouring through Mexico and Canada, bringing crime and drugs at levels never seen before. Right now, a caravan coming from Mexico composed of thousands of people seems to be unstoppable in its quest to come through our currently open border. On January 20th, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all, capital letters, all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all newcomers stop coming into our country. I have to say those different words because of the people upstairs. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long simmering problem. We hereby demand that they use this power, and until such time that they do, it is time for them to pay a very big price. Boom. Boom. That is huge. So he's now using the tariff initially, actually the threat of a tariff initially, to let Canada and Mexico, and I believe later on he's also including China in this as well, in that, hey, listen, if you guys don't take care of business, you're going to pay 25% tariff on everything you send here until such time as you get it cleaned up. So obviously he's using it as a negotiation ploy. Here was the second tariff post he put up. I've had many talks with China about the massive amounts of drugs, in particular fentanyl, being sent into the United States, but to no avail. Representatives of China told me that they would institute their maximum penalty, that of death, for any drug dealers caught doing this, but unfortunately, they never followed through. And drugs are pouring into our country, mostly through Mexico, at levels never seen before. Until such time as they stop, we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff above any additional tariffs on all of their many products coming into the United States. Thank you for attention to this matter. It was very polite at the end. So what you're seeing, 2 months before he takes office, he's given China, Canada, and Mexico a blinking neon notice. I'm not screwing around. The day I take office, you guys are going to get hit big time. Big time. 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico and 10% on China, in addition to other tariffs. You see, they didn't have that in theirs. This one, if you read the bottom of it here, it says 10% tariff above any additional tariffs. So he's got something planned for China. They're going to start you with 10, but we got some more stuff coming. The Canada and Mexico, you got a way out of this. You're basically going to be in charge of your own detriment at this point. If you don't stop the people coming across the border, you're going to get nailed. You are going to get nailed, and there's no doubt about it. Watch the stock market in the next couple of days. Watch what happens. Watch who decides to move money where. People realize right now, this man means business. He's not harboring any prisoners. He is just getting rid of the bodies. You're going to fix it right away or else. How's he going to stop the flow? Well, he's showing you right now. He's going to the money. This thing is going to be absolutely massive in terms of now. Let's see what they do. Before I talk more about that, he also had another appointment. President Trump announces James Braid as the Director of Office of Legislative Affairs, as Director of the Office of Political Affairs, and Alan Latcham as Director of the Office of Public Liaison. So 2 other appointments, not really sure what depth they're going to be, but nonetheless, they are now going to be part of the Trump administration. Of course, Elon had to chime in on this, because this will be highly effective. Bill Ackman, who's a billionaire business person, says, to be clear, according to Trump, the 25% tariffs will not be implemented, or if implemented, will be removed once Mexico and Canada stop the flow of newcomers and fentanyl into the United States. In other words, Donald Trump is going to use the tariffs as a weapon to achieve economic and political outcomes which are in the best interest of America, fulfilling his America First policy. This is a great way for Trump to effect foreign policy changes even before he takes office. See, that last sentence is a key for you. He's effecting foreign policy changes before he even gets there. Because on January 20th, when he's sworn in, he can just go ahead and sign a piece of paper, tariff the hell out of them. He's giving them the ability between now and January 20th, pretty much like, I don't want to hear it. Don't call me. There's no negotiating. Your negotiation is, I'm giving you this 60-day period, 56 days. In this 56-day period, get your crap together. Make it happen. Do what you have. I don't care what you need to do, but make it happen. Obviously, that puts some pressure on the Biden administration that's basically just floating around for the next 2 months. Because whatever they had planned and whatever they were doing and how they were doing it and how they were just letting all this stuff happen at the border, now they're going to look even more stupid. Because now you're going to have Canada and Mexico scrambling to stop all the crap coming across the border, people and otherwise. And they don't seem to have their crap together. Mayorkas isn't going to know what to do. What are you going to do? Wave these people in while Trump's saying stop it? You're not going to be able to pay it. So whatever game has been played, like I said, I've got an interview coming up with a border agent. Whatever crazy stuff has been happening, I'm not even going to go into that right now, but whatever it is that's been happening, Trump pretty much just said, it's over now. Whatever that caravan was coming, I think what really pissed him off is there was a video floating around. There was a young girl, I don't even know how old she was. I think she was like 4 or 5, unaccompanied. Just showed up at the border. People are like, wait, what's going on with this girl? How did she just show up? And everybody who saw that video, obviously they didn't say it here because, these people get pissed off. But everyone who saw that video said, well, what are you people doing? Just putting people on trains or trucks and shipping them up here? And our country's not doing anything about it? So Trump is pretty much what he has said is, I understand the ineffectiveness of our own government. I understand these people are completely inept or worse. I'm leaning towards the worse after what I heard. I don't think it's by accident. I don't think it's incompetence. I think there was something very nefarious going on with these people coming across the border. So now he goes to the only thing that he can do right now since he's not in office is to basically weaponize and threaten these 3 countries and say, get your act together. I'm putting you on notice right now. And you can't even go talk to Joe. You can't talk to Mayorkas. There's nobody you can talk to who's going to help you in this situation. So right now, all the eyes of the world, because you remember, all these people are coming from countries all over the place. They're coming from the northern border in Canada, and they're coming through the southern border in Mexico. And now he's like, you need to go take care of this. I'm interested in seeing what they even do at this point. Because you can't call his bluff. I mean, otherwise you're going to get screwed economically. So he's pretty much thrown down the gauntlet and said, you guys, that's it. And then you've got Vivek posted this meme somebody sent to him. And it shows them here with chainsaws, a graphic. And he's like, chainsaw first, chisel comes later. It's the only way. So I love the fact that Trump put this out there. I love that he said, you know what? Let's go ahead and throw down this gauntlet, which nobody was expecting. Nobody. And now it's on those countries. What would you do if you were China, Mexico, and Canada, and you got that notification? You got 60 days, boys. Do what you need to do. Joe can't help you at this point. We're watching. I've got people at the border. Tom Homan's probably watching. I understand Tom Homan's going down to the border in the next couple days. And he's going to get eyes on this stuff. He's going to talk to the border people. He doesn't have any power right now, so he's talking as a private citizen. But, oh my gosh. the poop is literally hitting the fan. I love what this guy said. Trump is actually being nice. He's being very generous. He just gave Mexico and Canada a 56-day head start on stopping the stuff coming into our country on their end. That's, in my estimation, I don't know, maybe it's too much testosterone-lating stuff. But that to me is how you start right away showing people you mean business. This isn't like it was with Kamala and Joe. We're not going soft on you. And you know, if you can see him doing this, you know what's coming over there. When I say over there, with Vlad, and over here with Netanyahu and the Ayatollah Assahola. You know these negotiations or rather these talks are occurring behind the scene. And he's letting everybody know there's a new sheriff in town, and whatever you were doing, it ends now. Or at least it ends on January 20th. We're hoping that you guys would get along. I love what Elon Musk said in reference to all of this. Price of fentanyl will rise sharply. I hope it does. I hope it becomes so expensive that people can't afford to buy it. I hope that he basically lets people know at this point everything that you're doing nefariously is going to cost more. Big. This is absolutely huge. Now couple that with our inability to really talk too much about it here. You see, we're not allowed to talk about the border in terms of even using the actual words for what's going on down there. You can't. If you mention those two words, S and T, one meaning traffic and the other you know what it means, you can't talk about it. These people here will shut you down for some reason. What are you afraid of? Well, I think somebody put out a trial balloon just to see something. So Martha Blackburn, and I'm going to have to be even delicate even saying certain things. You're just going to have to read it. She put this out. She said, Facebook is trying to silence me. We're talking a sitting U.S. senator. And stop me from speaking out about that guy who had the island and what he was doing. Meta, Facebook, big tech, and the media have been trying to cover up his alleged abuses for years. And they'll go even as far as censoring United States senators, president, they threw him off, who want to bring transparency to the American people. She knew this. We've all known it. You guys who watched my videos know I can't even say certain words. There's a reason why she put this out there. There's a reason why she went and actually tried to post something. Let me see if I can make this smaller so you guys can see it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. All right, she posted this. Oh, crap. I got to see if I can make it bigger so you can see it. Let me do it this way. I'll shrink it here, and then I'll move it up this way. There we go. So she posted, share her post if you want to see President Trump make blank blank logs public. How can that possibly be offensive? How can that possibly be something that you have to wonder, hey, is that bad? And so Facebook says this post may go against our guidelines on suggested content. This post may show content that is broadly disliked. Common reasons for this are blank, 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 blank. You did that to a sitting congresswoman. You know, Meta may come back in and blame it on some low-level staffer, but she means business. I mean, she's not. She's a senator. She goes, when your page shares content that may go against our guidelines, it will, and all the different things. Get your page taken down, lead to restrictions on your personal account. I know firsthand because they told me go away. I posted some stuff and they basically said, yeah, you can't play here anymore. So yeah, just sorry, done, forever. And again, look who gets into the conversation. Elon Musk. Fortunately, X believes in free speech. We are about to enter an era here where, and that wasn't by accident. There's no way that a sitting senator did that by accident. That was her putting some bait in the water. They wanted to see and show people what's going on. So I would expect what you're going to see right after January 20th comes, right after he's there, we're going to see some other executive orders that these people and Facebook are not going to like. They're letting people know in advance that game is over. You're telling American senators, the president, and other people that they can't even discuss certain words. And so he's dropping a tariff on Canada and Mexico because of the stuff that we're not even allowed to discuss. Imagine that. The president-elect of the United States has issued an edict that he is going to drop a 25% tariff on those two countries and a 10% on the other country for reasons we can't openly discuss here. Think about how much madness is in that. The president of the United States is going to do all this stuff, and I can't even tell you the words of what he's tariffing. There's no way that can survive. There's no way that's going to continue to go on because it makes absolutely no sense. Who in the hell are you protecting? Why do we have to say newcomers? Why can't we say the actual word? One of the things that these people say is we don't like you saying it because advertisers don't like it. Really? Seriously? You mean the advertisers that are on MSNBC, CBS, and CNN, and they say this stuff all day long, but we can't say it here? The peer-to-peer, the people, the citizen journalists, we can't say it, but they can say it. It's going to get really, really interesting, I guess would be the word, as we see all this stuff begin to take place. Let's see what else I got for you here. I wanted to show you because there's just some weird things that are happening, and it doesn't make a lot of sense when you see it. So, the people at Amuse, which is a good, I like them. So if you need somebody to follow for some decent news, Amuse is another site. And the Biden administration offers grief counseling to federal employees after Trump's victory. The Biden administration claimed that up to 90% of adult federal employees were personally traumatized by the routine operation of American democracy that elected Donald Trump president, prompting the government to offer free mental health counseling as a remedy. Go ahead. Let that sink in. Let that sink in that 90% of the adults who are federal employees needed trauma counseling because Trump won an election. That's how far gone this country is. That 90%, meaning there were men in there too. Obviously, to get to 90%, you're talking about men and women. 90% of the people needed to have counseling. Who in the hell are you hiring? And worse, what are their job positions that these people who are so unstable looking at the results of an election that you had to offer government paid for counseling? Federal service employees, civil service employees are almost all Democrats. 90% of political donations given by them are to Democrats. This fact alone makes a good case for a serious effort to rebalance the executive branch. The fact that we're having to spend millions to give free mental counseling to federal employees traumatized by an election is just more evidence. When I read it, I couldn't believe that. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that 90% of the employees felt traumatized. That means you walk into your office tomorrow and 9 out of 10 people are, gonzo. And then, of course, Vivek says taxpayer dollars should not subsidize for federal employees traumatized by the fact that Trump won. I've said it many, many, many times. And I've said it, and I mean it. There are many people in this country who are never making their way back to normalcy. It ain't ever happening. I don't know what the media has done. I don't know what the Biden administration has done. I don't know if it's a combination of the gaslighting and propaganda, but 90% of the federal employees needed grief counseling. They're never coming back. I mean, it was so traumatic that they couldn't function at work. Those of you who are reading this and probably commenting, which I'll take in a second, it's unfathomable. I could not imagine if I was a manager or a director in one of these offices and I'm like, "What? Hey, Fred, what's wrong?" Oh, my fifis. Oh, my God, what are we going to do? Trump's going to do. He's literally Hitler. I'm going to go to my office. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear what you just said, bro. I mean, there's people around, and you're crying like a wuss. Get a hold of yourself, man. It was a freaking election. But it's Hitler. You have to be really, 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 really gone upstairs for this kind of stuff to be causing you to have counseling, an election. Stay away from me. That's all I can say. Luana Ballard says brainwashed. Yeah. See our girly men. Oh, okay, that's a good point. Julie says they were already that way, probably. Yeah, there's a good point. They recruited people that they know were like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sue the gaslighters that have been reporting the lies for the last 10 years. Yeah, I'm down with that. Must be lazy people trying to get out of work. Severo, I hope it was that simple. I hope it was that simple that a bunch of people said, hey, man, we can get paid. Wait a minute. No, it's not that simple. They don't do anything anyway. I just realized something. Oh, hold it, dough. For 90% of them to need counseling when 60 or 70% of them don't even come to the office. You forgot that point, right? I did. Wait, so you're home looking at Buffy the cat and you're crying in your Fruit Loops because Trump is president, so you're calling the office or texting or emailing like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm walking around the house. I peed myself twice. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Because they don't go to the office. That's the other part of it. This stuff is so insane that we forget the details. The details are these people don't go into an office. So they had to report it to somebody. I'm not feeling really good. My fifi's hurt. Oh my God. What? And we are paying for it. Yep, we are paying for it. We are paying. You said it yesterday. They don't hire based on experience, only in questions. Hiring. Yeah, I mean, we all go to the office. We all know who the people are in office. Maybe you might even have some strange birds in your office, but they still function. Because if they didn't function, they wouldn't be there. There may be some people, female and male, that have some issues, but they still function. Because if they didn't function, they wouldn't be there. But to have an entire building empty, none of these people actually come to the office, emailing, texting, whatever they're doing to let everybody know that they were devastated. I couldn't even get to work. Stock in Midol is skyrocketing. What? Midol is at PMS. Oh, that's right. They're just lazy people. TDS is terminal, apparently. They are FUBAR. I haven't heard FUBAR since college. That is so funny. In their Fruit Loops. You guys are funny. Quit taking a drink of anything when watching me. I'm not even making this stuff up. I look at the news sometimes and I just think to myself, this is insane. Where did we get off on this exit on the highway to Lululand? I mean, just thank God January 20th is only 56 days away. Self-fire. Self-terminate your employment. You're not going to make it. In fact, Trump could probably make these people quit by just saying you have to be in the office, and a bunch of them are going to quit. And then he should show up and sit at a desk. Is he going to be in here all day? Oh no, I got to look at him? I do. If the thought of Trump being elected caused you to get counseling, I can't even imagine if he was sitting in a cubicle next to you. And Trump's the type of guy who would probably do it. Walk through, hey, what exactly do you do here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that would be just too much. Oh God. Oh. I'd love it. I'd film it. If I were him, I'd actually film it. Because if I were him and I saw this, I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Here's what we're going to do. Get the film crew together. We're going to go show up at one of these offices. Wait till they're all back in. And when they're all back in, we're just going to go, and I'm just going to sit in a cubicle. How about that? The rest of them will quit. Oh, my goodness. And then this one from them. Steve Moore said, I go into these big federal buildings, it's almost like they're haunted. It's spooky. There's nobody there. Nobody wants to show up. It's ridiculous. Elon Musk and Vivek want to fix this with Doge. And he goes, why won't federal civil service employees who can't be fired go to work? If I was Trump, I'd go show up at their houses. How you doing? Is Joey here? Tell him the boss is here. I just hope this doesn't end up in lawsuits and lawsuits and lawsuits, and people realize it's futile. You're not going to work. The buildings are, as Steve Moore just said, it's like they're haunted. There's nobody there. And until I just realized that, since I realized nobody is in the office, I don't even know how they got 90% of the employees to respond. Did they send out a group email? A group Discord? Hey, everybody feeling okay? Oh, no, I'm not feeling good, man. I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good at all. I wonder how they're going to feel about being tariffed, or Mexico and Canada being tariffed. You got to know at this point that Justin Trudeau is just losing it. And there's probably no Tay-Tay concert he can go to, as Canada is burning down. Now you got to figure out a way to do something about that. But in any event, a 25% tariff on anything coming in is going to hurt the economy of both of those countries. And people say, well, it's going to hurt America. Not if you understand a tariff. More than likely, the tariffs that they're going to charge Canada and Mexico, just start looking for different products right now. This is the advice I'll give you as an American. If you know that there's a likelihood of something happening with Canada, Mexico, and China, and those goods are about to get 25% more expensive, and yes, you will see that reflected in the store, in the retail establishments. All of a sudden, whatever you were getting from Canada, I don't know what you were getting, whatever you're getting from Mexico is going to be 25% more expensive. Oh, Barry, but that hurts the little guy. No, because the same warning he gave to Mexico and Canada, he's given to you. So you, at this point, okay, as an American, what you need to do is begin to look at your spending habits. When you go to the grocery store, look on the back of the box. Look on the back of the bag. If it says imported from Canada or imported from Mexico, you better start looking at different things on the shelves. Unless you want to pay the 25% more. Because it will be reflected. Something that's $2 will be $2.50. So, I don't even know. Robin does most of the shopping, but start looking on the back and see where stuff is coming from. I don't know what you'd be buying in a grocery store, but I'm pretty sure when you go to a retail outlet or a mall, a lot of that stuff is coming from different countries. You are now going to have to start looking at the tags and different things that you're purchasing to make sure you're not going to get hit with a 25% increase in price. It's very important. Some of you guys I know are on fixed incomes. You pay attention. Doesn't matter whether it's ketchup, whether it's Brill cream, whatever it is. If it's coming from Canada or Mexico, find an alternative. You got 60 days. Start looking at that and understand you are going to be impacted, but you're not stuck. That's where the difference is. You don't. You could continue buying whatever you're buying if you choose to pay the extra 25%. No problem. You can do that. If an extra 25% is too expensive for you, you personally, nobody else, you personally have to find an alternative. I wanted to make sure, I know I was joking earlier, this is completely serious because it affects your pocketbook directly. Make sure you look now to see if anything you are customarily buying at the store, retail, food, otherwise, make sure it's not from Canada or Mexico, because by January 20th, you're probably going to be paying 25% more for that product. Everybody understand that? Let me just make sure. Just by all their products come from foreign. Who? Is that Walmart? He said Brill cream. Don't forget the Vitalis and Old Spice. And guess what? Brill cream, I haven't heard that one in a while. Yeah, it shows my age. They knew their jobs were election related once one election to another. Even the police. Yeah, exactly. Alberta is already looking to become the 51st state. Produce. If you like guacamole, you got now until January 20th. Start storing up on some avocados. I remember, what was it, a couple years ago? Avocados went absolutely nuts in price. Yeah, that's a big one. People down here in South Florida love their guacamole. Guacamole is crazy. So if you make your own, store it up, get a recipe, do what you need to do, they're going to go up. It's going to be quite expensive. Just tariff high-end products? No, it's 25% across the board. It didn't make any reference to a higher price or a lower price. This is one of those which is broad. Compared to Bidenomics, the tariffs are still less. And the tariffs are less, and you can also make alternatives. Barry, I've seen cans of vegetables from Walmart, 2 different labels. One was from Pakistan. I was like, what? Yeah, I ain't eating nothing from Pakistan, especially if it comes from a can. Amazon, let's see, freeze the avocados. Don't they turn brown? I'm not really sure. Yeah, they grow everywhere in Florida. Grow your own. Yeah, we have an avocado over here, and a mango tree in the back. So you're absolutely right. They do grow here. Love it, 25% tariff. Dippity-doo. That's funny. My mom grows avocados in her backyard. So I don't know what products that you're purchasing yourself, but I just wanted to make sure. That was one of the reasons, actually, all kidding aside, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get this information out to you, because as much as we're telling them, get your shit together, make sure you stop all that stuff coming in here, you need to pay attention as well, because I don't want you shocked going in one day and go, what? How is it this much more expensive? And it may end up being even more expensive because they may try to overcompensate. The store may raise their price on top of that so they can have the same margin. So be careful with that. Avocados, where that? Walmart sells stuff from China and Egypt and Africa and Mexico. Let's see. I live in South Florida, and my place to live due to a FEMA, although I file a claim and they're still ignoring me. Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody says, this is Linda. Linda says you can freeze avocados as long as you do it right away. Seal them in an airtight container. Says there, somebody, all right, so you guys need to figure it out, because somebody says you can't freeze avocados, and some people says you can. Hey, Faith, nice to have you back. Rich, you never left. and Faith also that night made a super chat, which I didn't see, so I apologize for that. Where'd that one go? It says, I'm 81 years old. Okay, I'm 81 years old, and I've been checking labels for years and buy USA products as much as I can, and not China-made or adversarial nations as well. Thrifty buys from local groceries. I love you guys are all telling each other what to do. Avocados from Florida. Can we make it a jingle? Yeah, we've got them here. It's cold down here. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say that because that's embarrassing. I'm going to sound like one of those Biden employees. I'm like, it's cold outside. It's about 68 yesterday. Oh, my goodness. We couldn't get in the pool because the water was too cold. If somebody says, no, don't ever freeze avocados. So I'm going to let you ladies figure this out, because I don't know. I know one thing, you can't put them in the refrigerator for too long because they end up turning brown or something, but I don't know if that means it's after it's already been cut. Not really sure. Also down here, we've got plenty, aren't many of these items available from California? I would think so, absolutely. We have coconuts everywhere, so we don't have to buy foreign coconuts. I mean, literally, you just go out and shake the next tree next to you. They're all over the ground. But I'm just saying, just understand, 36 degrees. Whew, just understand here that you guys need to be prepared. I freeze guacamole all the time. It's fine. So you know what? It must be in the recipe too. I mean, maybe you put in salt or certain preservatives. Out of my league. My lane doesn't go there. I don't know. Maybe you guys can talk about how to, I don't know. Captain Daddy says it's 65 here by Mar-a-Lago. I'm freezing. You're not supposed to talk like that. People look at us like we're crazy. 65 and you're cold? Yeah. I'm actually sniffling because I'm like, am I getting a little bit of a cold? Place avocados in a bowl of water to avoid them turning brown. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. See, I would never have known all this listening to you guys, which is fantastic, and talking about it. All right, so I just saw something else pop up regarding the tariffs, and this is CNN is doing a hit piece on. You got to be kidding me. CNN is just did a hit piece on Scott Pressler. Man, don't worry about it, Scott. Ain't nobody watching it. Oh man, incredible. All right, so this is what I just saw. Trump is sending a clear and decisive message tonight to the world. I completely agree with the tariff threats on China, Canada, and Mexico. The USA is done waiting, done slow rolling, done pretending, done with the neoliberal diplomacy. You step up and do your part, or you deal with what's next. So if you know this, and you realize it's November 25th as we're doing this live, and many of you could probably see this on replay. If you know that he's throwing down the gauntlet like this already, more than likely over the next 56 days, we're going to see a lot more, I guess we have to call them threats. I'm going to call it putting people on notice. We're going to let you know this is what's coming. And the fact that he's letting this stuff, and let me just brace you. Tomorrow, all the usual suspects will be screaming about how it's going to take a bad effect on poor people over the holidays and everything else. It's coming. They have no choice. He knows that's what they're going to say. He knows that's what they're going to do. It's not going to work. This is what we elected him for. So I felt that it was incumbent upon me to explain a little bit deeper and think there may be some other countries that he may end up slapping some things on as well. So if you know this, and you're going into the holidays, Thanksgiving's in a couple days, then you got Christmas, then you got New Year's. It was so funny. Robin went out today. As soon as we started getting wind of this, she went out and basically got everything for Thanksgiving Thursday and some stuff afterwards. And I'm like, we got so much stuff. What are we worried about? Everything we get is right off the tree. And she said to me, you never know what else, because now you got to turn it and look at the label. And if it's one of those, as somebody had said earlier, an adversarial country, it might be coming there as well. So just be careful. I trust that you guys all know what you buy. I love the fact that you're all talking and exchanging ideas in here, because that's what's going to get you prepared and keep you more prepared than other people you know, by understanding this is the first one. This is the first salvo he's firing. It's a big one. Canada and Mexico. And then you have to wonder what the retaliation will be. Yeah, I haven't seen anything filed by Justin Trudeau. Has he said anything in response other than, okay, we'll get it done? Because if it gets into some sort of protracted thing where they, let me see if Justin Trudeau has said anything. Trudeau. Because if he says something in response like, no, we're not going to do it, then what do you do? I'm looking to see if there's anything posted. Don't see anything yet from his X account. But that's something that you may want to look at in the next day or so. You know, when you're not here or you're just on X and just looking around, go ahead and look and see if you see anything coming from his account. I'm looking to see, here's his actual account. This is Justin Trudeau's account. This is the real one, as I can tell by the gray check there. And nothing. He hasn't responded. So expect some sort of response probably tomorrow as they're talking about what he's going to be doing. Hopefully it'll just be, okay, yes, we will do this. But if it gets protracted, I don't know what they'll do with hotel stays. I don't know how they'll tax Americans who come there for visitation. Same thing in Mexico. This could go mushroom pretty quickly, depending on how these other countries accept what he has just said. Understand that. Let me see about President of Mexico, if she has said anything. Where is she? Here's this is what he was talking about. You guys haven't seen this. This is the caravan that's heading up right now. And this is what spurred this on. He's like, do something about this. That can't keep happening. We're not going to accept this. Look how far back that line goes. I mean, it's as far back there as you can see. That's scary, and they're all trying to get here before Trump gets in office. So, wow. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. So we got to do something. Let's see here. Okay, her name is Claudia Scheinbaum, which sounds as non-Mexican as you possibly could imagine. But let's see if she's posted anything, because she got a job to do now. Okay, here she is. Claudia Scheinbaum Pardo. She's the president of Mexico. Okay, so this is in, if any of you speak Spanish, which I'm sure many of you do, I'm not sure what that says. X needs to get a translation button. So she posted this an hour ago, and I don't know what it says. So if any of you guys, let me see in a comment. Anybody know what that says? Want to translate that real quick? That video is from 3 days ago. Okay, never mind. So she posted that 3 days ago. Or are you talking about hers or the migrants? Not good. Someone needs to stop this. America is closed. Yeah, enough with that. You should say people downstairs. Hey Barry, I always check ingredients. I only buy fresh fruits and veggies. Okay, with this feeding them, giving them water, talking about violence against women. Okay, so if that's what she's talking about, then neither her nor Trudeau has mentioned anything yet. Okay, well, yes, people are talking about women's rights. She's talking about women's rights. All right, so keep an eye on that, and you'll see for yourself over the next couple of days between her and Trudeau how they respond. I'm surprised they haven't responded already. I would have responded in terms of knowing, if somebody had said something, I'm about to hit your country with 25% tariffs. He just posted something else. Wait a second. He's posted a bunch of stuff pretty quickly here. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right, so Trump, he's posted some video about Tim Walz. I don't know what it is. He's making fun of Tim Walz because he's like they're trying to steal the joy. This one says why CEOs are cheering Donald Trump's pick for Treasury because he's going to make them money. This one, Wall Street's closes higher. He posted that 3 minutes ago. And this one, the Freedom Caucus looks to chart a new, even Trumpier path. But nothing, and that's again another one from Tim Walz. So he's hitting Tim Walz. So anyway, that's what he's tweeting. And nothing further. Keep an eye on it. Look at your products and see what you're going to do, just in case something happens price-wise with various things. All right, let's continue. Got the stuff for you. Here we go.
Here's the big finish. 10 stories that you just gotta hear. Number 10.
Well, the first thing I would point out is that in the CBS News YouGov poll that was released this morning, 60% of the American people approve of the way Donald Trump is handling his transition so far. So with all the picks and all the news that's come out of Mar-a-Lago, there is widespread approval from the American people that, hey, it seems like it's going okay. We need a couple of years of political peace in this country. When Donald Trump got elected, there was no peace, and it was constant dragging him down and investigations that were bogus and so on and so forth. This government needs to be allowed to operate.
He's exactly right, and these people on the left don't want to. They're in full resistance mode. Do everything you can to stop him.
Republicans won the election. They have the presidency, they have the House, they have the Senate. Democrats need to fall in line here a little bit. They could be loyal opposition, but that doesn't mean you have to be totally obstructive. I think if they are, it's going to hurt them politically. The American people said we need some action, and Donald Trump and the Republicans ought to be able to take that action. It's the mandate delivered by the American people.
Number 9.
Hey, and our victory is righteous, our cause is righteous, and we must for the American Republic. It's not about retribution. This is about setting things right. We can never allow this to happen again. This was like Stalin's Russia. This is what the Bolsheviks do. We're going to do everything, and it's going to be totally out transparent. It's going to be out in the open. But we are going to bring justice to these criminals, and that's exact. Damon Williams, you're a criminal.
Damon Williams is the United States Attorney for Manhattan and that area up there. He was one of the ones who worked with Alvin Bragg and everybody to go after Trump. Today he resigned. I'm done. And he resigned. So they're all running at this point. They know they can't get Trump, and they're all just trying to take off.
The deputy at SDNY, you're a criminal. About 50 of the lawyers at SDNY, you're criminals. The Justice Department, Jack Smith, Lisa Monaco, Merrick Garland, you are criminals. You are criminals, and you're going to be brought to justice. Short commercial break. We got...
I don't know how much he still talks to Trump, if at all. But he's throwing the gauntlet down saying these people are going to go, at least if not to jail, they're going to be investigated. And I personally don't have any problem with that. None whatsoever.
Number 8.
You've worked in the Justice Department. You host a podcast called Talking Feds, for goodness sake. Yeah. What's it like for the career attorneys at the Justice Department who see these cases falling apart? Are they demoralized by this, or are they kind of like, well, Dems the rules, we just got to do what the rules say?
No, this is not a Dems the rules as usual kind of situation. It's not simply these cases falling apart, but the assertion of the power just from the president to make them fall apart and other things that are contemplated for the DOJ. We have a really demoralized career staff, people putting their resumes on the street, people being...
That's a good thing. The more demoralized they are, and hopefully they won't need to charge us for any more grief counseling. But this is exactly what Trump wants. Leave. Want you demoralized. You've been defeated. You are showing at this point that you are not arbitrary. You are not able to call balls and strikes. You are so left-leaning that you are demoralized over an election. I couldn't think of a more immediate person I need to fire and get rid of, to the point where you feel demoralized. I'm sick of people saying, they're demoralized, they're traumatized. What in the hell is wrong with people? Why couldn't you just do your jobs? It doesn't matter if it's left or right. It's the law.
Really afraid of what Trump's entry will mean for the storied DOJ function of doing justice without fear or favor. This is the worst. Without fear or favor. If you believe the crap coming out of your mouth, then they wouldn't feel demoralized. Think about it. If you are a person who is a lawyer, a state's attorney or whatever, federal attorney, and you got this book, and this book is the law. It doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter if it was Biden, Kamala, or Trump. Your guide is the book. And so by telling people that they're demoralized and they're worried and they're scared and they're frightened and blah, 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 you're telling me that these people weren't good attorneys. Everything that they did was slanted according to their political ideology. Crisis I've ever seen in DOJ history.
And that is exactly how the president-elect wants it to some extent. I mean, he's right. Trying to disrupt the federal government. Might as well start with the Justice Department.
But wrong. That's not how the president wants it. You guys made it that way. Think about it. If you're working at a company and the CEO gets fired or he moves on, if you're doing your job, I'm like, okay, well, CEOs are different. The CEO's got a different game plan how he wants to run a company. It doesn't really affect me. Am I still getting paid? Yeah. You still want me to do X, Y, and Z? Yeah. Okay. I've been in companies where CEOs have left and employees go, hey, have you talked to the new guy yet? What's he like? How's it going to be? Okay, let me know if I need to do anything different. Why do you need to quit your job because it's a different president? You are telling everybody that you are unbelievably, uncontrollably, irreparably biased.
Number 7.
Can you account for the whereabouts of those 400 and something thousand children?
This is tough.
The 320,000 that were put in the report by the Inspector General, the 85,000 that we've talked about before in 2023. Do you know where all of these children are and that they are safe? Yes or no?
Congressman, as I explained the process.
That really is a gimme question. You either know where they are or you don't. I'm going to launch my video with the Border Patrol agent who I interviewed. I think that's going to go Wednesday morning. And so I'm going to post these on X and then over on Rumble as well. And I can tell you, based upon what he told me, no, they don't know. In fact, not only do they not know, they have no clue. They don't even know how many. it may make you tear up when you hear what our government has done with these young kids on purpose.
We get these kids when they are referred to us by the Department of Homeland Security. We then provide them with care while they are in our custody. We lose custody of those kids once we find a vetted sponsor with whom they can stay.
A vetted sponsor that rapes and murders the people.
Before he got to that statement, he had already lied. Because when you're placing somebody somewhere, I don't know how many of you have had people you know who have been adopted or foster care. My mom used to have foster kids all the time. We were blessed and we had a bigger house so she could take somebody in. But basically they had to come to the house. They had to meet everybody in the house. They had to take accounting of who lived there and what was going on. And then when the person came, my mom did, she had a little folder on who the person was, where she's from. These people just did some really, really unforgivable stuff.
That they're entrusted to? Because you issue a rule that doesn't even do the background check? That's what you think is appropriate care for these children? I yield back.
Number 6.
So I think what we're all saying is we're going.
All right, so I want to set this one up. As you notice, I'm doing shorter 10 of these 10 videos, not that long. Somebody has went and talked to Whoopi, and somebody has said, listen, hey, Whoopi, you're not going to have a show here if you don't get these women under control. But unfortunately for Whoopi, some of these women are completely uncontrollable. They hate Trump so much, they don't care. And she's trying to rein them in here. As you watch this, you can see her trying to steer these people. Hey, Ixnay, hey, don't be crazy. Disney's about to pull the plug on us.
We're going to sit and watch. We're going to wait and see because we can't do anything else except.
I'm not going to wait and see. I mean, this guy is
told
that he's a retribution.
What are you going to do? What are you doing? There's nothing to be done until you know what you're fighting. It's pissing in the wind doesn't help. You just get a wet face.
But what I'm saying is I have no false expectations that at 78 he's going to all of a sudden turn into a national human being. And I'm not going to spend. I spent weeks telling people that he was apocalyptic. I'm not going to change now because it's still the same man.
Not treating every single thing like
I think that's when we lose credibility.
Well, here's the thing: you lose credit.
Somebody on the View worrying about losing credibility is probably the funniest joke you will see on television.
Credibility in many different ways. If you don't know what you're talking about and you accuse him of something, then they're going to blow it back. That's why I say we need to wait and see exactly what.
They can't do it. They cannot do it. She's trying to temper these people. Hey, listen, you can't be bombastic. They're going to fire us. They're going to cancel. I ain't doing nothing. I'm not waiting. I'm just... And she's trying to tell him, chill. You're about to lose your job. And we got a good gig going here. We're making so much money. All you have to do is, whoosa. Let's see what happens. I don't want to do nothing. I'm going to tell me I'm going to be who I be. Okay, you're about to be unemployed. All of you. Because your credibility is so good.
5.
Look, President Trump has a mandate, and part of the mandate that he has is he's bringing prayer back to schools. He made that crystal clear in the election. So listen, what we've seen is the radical left and a Supreme Court dramatically out of step with the Constitution has stricken prayer from our public schools. That's absurd. We all have the free exercise of our religious beliefs. That was essential in the foundation of this country. And so listen, we're going to protect that. We wanted to make sure it was crystal clear to parents, teachers, and kids. We will not allow any more state-sponsored atheism going on in our schools, which is the targeting of any expression of religious beliefs. It's absurd. And so we're going to go back to upholding the Constitution.
This is the school superintendent for Oklahoma who's bringing the Bible back into school. Of course, as you know, the nuts on the left are all freaking out, calling this guy every kind of name in the book, but he's bringing the Bible back to the school.
Oklahoma public schools as President Trump has clearly laid out for the country.
Number 4.
On the Monday Countdown podcast.
Oh, they're losing it.
Could Elon Musk actually buy MSNBC and turn it into a Trump propaganda network?
This dude used to be on ESPN. Then he was on MSNBC. He sees all his friends on MSNBC, and he wants to call what Trump and what Elon may do a propaganda network. These people have, as I said, they look in the mirror and must see something else. It's incredible.
Is it just another drug-fueled joke? Or could Musk be serious? Could NBC Comcast be serious about selling? We're not even sure they're interested in selling. The question perhaps is not whether or not Musk would do it. What did he do with Twitter? What did Warner Bros. Discovery do with CNN? The question is, if he wanted to do it, who could stop him?
I don't think anybody can. I'm pretty sure if he offered the price that they wanted and the stockholders said, hey, listen, we'll take that price, yeah, you pretty much can't stop him unless somebody overbid him. That's it. That's your only way.
Number 3.
Congrats to President Trump for being 100% not guilty, but I want all Americans to remember this. If we had somehow not prevailed in this election, Jack Smith would not be dismissing these charges. He would be proceeding to trial. And though this monumental victory...
I find it interesting that now that Matt Gaetz doesn't have a job, he's actually more engaging on X than he used to be. For whatever reason.
Victory was won for all Americans, led by President Trump. We have to remember, just like we came within fractions of fractions from civil war when President Trump survived an assassination attempt, we also were just fractions away from, like, these people trying to throw Donald Trump in prison. So while all of us are grateful for this victory, for Trump, it was victory or prison, because he wasn't going to get a fair trial. It was going to be some knockdown, drag-out deal with a predetermined outcome. So enjoy the victory, President Trump, but the rest of us have to do all we can to ensure that no one is ever put in this type of a situation again, and we make America great again.
I don't know what's in store for Matt Gaetz, but the shit-eating grin that he has when he's talking, and as he's talking about these things, I think this man is definitely going to be doing something in the Trump administration. Maybe special counsel, I'm not sure. And these last two videos here are just about, it was my way to salute the man after getting these charges finally thrown out.
Number 2.
Is there any chance you take a plea deal in Georgia?
We did nothing wrong. We don't ever take a plea deal.
Yes, sir.
We don't take plea deals. It's a wise guy question. You're just a wise guy. We don't take plea deals because I did nothing wrong. It's called election interference. You know what that is? Because these indictments are brought out by Biden, who can't even put two sentences together. This is Joe Biden, because he can't win the election by himself. He can't win the election based on votes. The fact is that we have a country that's in serious trouble. We have a country that's in major decline. I don't mean decline, I mean major decline. And we're going to straighten it out. This group and a lot of people just like this group, we're going to straighten it out, and we're going to make America great again. Yes, sir. Wise guy. Thank you very much.
Okay, so if you couldn't hear because it was out by the airplane, what the reporter asked him was, and this was obviously back when all the stuff was happening, is, are you going to take a deal, cut a deal, plea? Trump's like, no deals. I'm not taking any deal. I didn't do anything wrong. They wanted him to take a deal. Obviously, that was the push all along. Get him to plead. Get him to plead. We can't take this to court. I'm pretty sure they knew all along that's what they wanted. They knew they would lose in court. They knew that they would lose on appeal if they convicted him. They wanted him to allocute and say, I'm guilty, and take some sort of a deal. And that would have basically precluded him from running for president. So they wanted him to basically take the knee. And the man stared him down, and said, nope, no deals. And I think that's how he's going to be with them as well.
Number 1.
Every one of these fake cases is bullshit. Every single one of them. Terrible. And as you know, I've come here today. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a crowd.
That's our guy. That's our guy. And I just wanted to punctuate that the 10 other stories of the day with that. One other thing I want, before we break and give away some hoodies and other stuff here, I wanted to show you something. This was something that Elon has recently reposted. And this is Joni Ernst, the senator from Iowa. She goes, we can eliminate more than $2 trillion of waste in Washington in 22 easy steps. I wanted to go through these with you because they're interesting. 1, ghost workers. We are spending $15 billion a year on underutilized buildings. Many are vacant. Bureaucrats refuse to show up to work. So why are we paying for empty buildings? Good flipping question. I got a bigger question. Why did we just now find out when Elon and Vivek started looking that these buildings were all empty? I didn't know that. How many people knew that these buildings in Washington, there was nobody there? Number 2, audit the IRS. This one drove me nuts. I went, you got to be kidding me. Hundreds of IRS agents owe millions in back taxes. 150,000 federal employees owe $1.5 billion in back taxes, government-wide. After we are done, these numbers need to be 0. So let me get this right. You got all these IRS agents out there chasing people down because they haven't paid their taxes. Yes. But the people chasing people down because they haven't paid their taxes haven't paid their taxes. Yes. What a gig. What a job. You're going to go arrest and harass people to try and extract every dime you can from them, knowing full well you owe taxes. Wow. Number 3, undo Biden's billion-dollar boondoggles. Biden has spent $7 billion to build a total of 17 electric vehicle charging stations and $42 billion to expand rural broadband, but has connected 0 people to the internet. The problem I have with this is spent. Where the hell did $50 billion get spent? If you only built 17 charging stations and didn't connect anybody to the internet, but you still spent it, where is that $50 billion? 4, cancel the crazy California gravy trains. 3 trains in California are costing taxpayers $144 billion to build. Let's put a stop to these train wrecks. $144 billion and it ain't done. Stop Christmas in September. From $4.6 million for Lobster Tail to $2.1 million for games, the ridiculous use-it-or-lose-it model encourages wild spending by federal agencies before the end of the fiscal year. Doge needs to be the Grinch and save taxpayers $53 billion. So they get budgets. And their budget says, you know, you got $8 million left in your budget. Why can't we just say, hey, we got a surplus and give it back? Oh, no. Let's go out and just rent something in Bora Bora and have a conclave. And we'll all just go out there and have fun and blow the money. Yeah, they're doing that. Number 6, end welfare for politicians. The Presidential Election Campaign Fund uses tax dollars, your money, to fund the candidacy of long-shot and fringe candidates running for the White House. Tax dollars shouldn't be financing the failed ambitions of politicians. $16.6 million. bad pennies. Currently, the federal government, this one just makes you laugh after you want to scream. Currently, the federal government is paying 3 cents to produce a penny and 11 cents to make a nickel. Focus in on what that just said. It costs 3 cents to produce 1 cent. It costs 11 cents to make 5 cents. No one needs to be a math genius to understand, oh, we're getting screwed. Only Washington can lose money by making money. Changing the composition of the coins would save $50 million a year. Why is that even an item? Why wasn't that just done to begin with? Hey man, it's costing us 3 times as much as what this thing is worth. And you just keep doing it. $1 trillion secret slush funds. Washington is hiding $1.6 trillion in unobligated funds, including billions from the jabademic. We should not be hoarding money for secret pet projects when we are $36 trillion in debt. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Is this the first time you're hearing about this? And people are wondering where they're going to cut from? You're telling me there's 1.6 trillion in unobligated funds? Bogus bonuses. The federal government spends hundreds of millions of dollars giving bureaucrats and contractors unearned bonuses for work that often never took place. No shows, including more than $500 million at NASA. Silly science. How fast does a shrimp to run on a treadmill? How fast does a panda poop? Which tastes better, toilet water or bottled water? Can elephants solve puzzles? These are just a few of the bizarre studies funded using hundreds of millions of tax dollars. Number 11. Unemployment for millionaires. Nearly 15,000 Americans earning $1 million in income collected $213 million in unemployment last year. The $1 million question, why are we hard-working folks paying for unemployment for people worth $1 million or more? Government swag. Federal agencies collectively spend $1.5 billion every year on public relations, including Snuggies, mascots, keychains, and coloring books. Are you still with me? Are you still here? Are you screaming? You're wondering how you're going to pay rent and have Christmas and Thanksgiving, and you're seeing all of your money just... I can't take it. Head in the clouds. Consolidating federal agencies' cloud computing software licenses would save $750 million a year. We're spending $750 million a year on software licenses for multiple agencies. China's mad scientists. My investigations uncovered that the little elf, and believe it or not, I can't say his name. Can't say his name. Have sent millions to labs for sketchy experiments. The worst part is that lack of transparency means we don't even know how many millions are being spent or for what. It's just going out the door. Secret money. UN overpayments. The USA pays higher dues to the UN than any other country and sends 15 billion more voluntarily, despite UN employees participating in what they say there and encouraging newcomers to come to the USA. Why are tax dollars undermining our national security? See the roundabout that's happening? The government gives the UN $15 billion, and the UN gives out, flights and EBT cards. It's just one big circle. Defenseless spending. The Pentagon wastes $125 billion on bloated bureaucracy and has never passed an audit. Unhealthy benefits. The federal employees' health benefits program wastes $1 billion annually paying for ineligible individuals. I told you it's going to piss you off. I wanted to leave you. I'll leave you with an upbeat because we'll give away some hoodies. But I know you're sitting back there going, "You got to be kidding me." The worst part about it is these people have known this. Why did it take Doge? Why does it take Elon Musk and Vivek to do something about it? Paid not to work. Federal employees with no work assignments admit to napping, playing dominoes, and chess on the clock. Simply enacting a law passed by Congress would save $31 million a year. Stop giving away the farm. The USDA spends millions to support pet projects like teaching pigs to play video games, subsidizing cricket farms, and other nonsense that does nothing to support our farmers. You know this is just a grift. You know that pigs playing video games. Snapback payments, bureaucratic blunders resulted in, and this one just drives me nuts, 10 billion ineligible SNAP payments a year. So all these EBT cards floating around. $10 billion was spent on people who weren't supposed to have the EBT cards. Reducing duplication. Efficient and government rarely go with each other, but implementing hundreds of recommendations from Congress, nonpartisan watchdog, would increase efficiency and save, and you see the number, $200 billion. And the last one, common sense. For every $1 billion spent by Washington, $102 million is waste. Implementing basic management principles would have saved taxpayers $688 billion last year. As you just went through that mind-numbing exercise of numbers, remember they offered to people in Appalachia $750 loan. A $750 loan. And they're spending billions showing pigs how to play video games. We have completely lost track of our government. It's simply insane at this point what's going on. But as I said, I want to leave you in a good note. I'll take some comments in a second. At least we know it's going to be a fun time at the inauguration. Announced today, Joe and Jill Biden will be attending Trump's inauguration. No word on Kamala. You know he voted for him. You know he voted for him. Is there anybody still alive here? Because I know you guys probably saw those numbers and went, you got to be, mega laundering cases ahead. Lots of people to go to jail. Lots. A forensic accountant who can dig through these numbers and trace where the things have been and what accounts they went to and who owns the accounts and all. It's incredible. They haven't. Yeah, we probably could get away with no income tax. She just said it is a $2 trillion right there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I like that red dress she's got on. What a statement. It was more pinky, wasn't it? I mean, let me move that comment. It looks more pink to me. But I guess you could say it's red. Yeah, reddish. His tie's red, so her outfit's more pinkish. But it's amazing how they're that close with smiles against, somebody who's a fascist guy like that. Yeah, poor people in North Carolina. If you lived in North Carolina, and just imagine, you lived in North Carolina and you saw what I just showed you, and you got turned down for $750. Man, you're ready to go absolutely crazy. People better get prosecuted over this money laundering, and they owe it to us. And they hired 87,000 more people to basically go collect some more people's money. Go get more. We need more of their money. Go do whatever you need to do. Oh, we're gonna make it unrealized capital gains. We're gonna tax that too. We're gonna tax everything. And they thought that would be a winning strategy. Oh, man, unbelievable. Elon can create an AI hunting program. Yeah, you're right. That was supposed to be where men, what do we know about color? I would get caught for putting a penny over my federal return and have to pay it back. How are these people getting away with this? Because they're all involved. Now you know, or have a good feeling, why the rhinos are the way they are. There's a reason why Mitch McConnell and Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins are all, hey, what's he going to do here? The grift has been good. Everything's been fine for a long time. Notice all the real rhinos are the ones who have been there for 10, 15, 20 years. It's gotten comfortable. I show up every once in a while and I go yay or nay, and I'm making tens of millions of dollars. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting what they've done to us, what they've done to this country. It makes me just want to throw up. Absolutely throw up. And then pretend like it's no big deal. You know, just ignore it. It's nothing. It's just what we do. It's just how it works. All right, so let's go ahead and give away some hoodies. We're going to give away 3 hoodies tonight, and let's go ahead. And I think I've got Tommy Lawrence's drum roll here. Let me just make sure I have it. Where is it? Okay, here it is. And the first winner is Bina. Oh, what did I do there? How did I not get that up high enough? Hold on. I got to make the window smaller so people can actually see that this person won. Trying to do it. And where is it? Why won't it go down? I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. And the winner is Bina Ridenauer. Bina Ridenauer. All right. Pick another one. And I got to go back in here and do the drum roll again. And drum roll. Sherry Wallace and Beta Ridenauer. That's 2. And so now we're going to go do a third one. And drum roll. Pick another one. Ruth Perez. All right, so we got those 3 hoodies given away. SV, if Ashley's not in here, can you? Oh, there she is. I didn't see her, but there she just popped up. So she's there. Great. All right. So fantastic. Let me just go ahead and do the super chats right quick here. All right. Let me move that comment. And again, guys, ladies, both, if I end up missing you, I apologize. I will get, the people are watching, and so they let me know if I missed something. Gina Duncan, Joe's tie is burgundy. Jill's dress is fuchsia. Yeah, most of us guys would not have any clue what fuchsia is. William Flanagan from Canada. Canada doesn't manufacture anything. Everything we buy in Costco is made in China. Oh, that's too funny. Dyslexic Tank, how are you doing? They say it's a loan. It kind of sounds like it could be a predatory loan if they can't pay it back. If they can't pay it back, kind of take their land. It's so sad. Absolutely sad. What they've done to these people up in North Carolina. Hopefully Trump can get in there and do something about that, because that's just horrible. Paula Grubb, Lululand exit D-shirt. Paul Grob, Barry to get higher on the list, do top 10 shorts. Okay. Diane Tororian, I have a 2-year-old great-granddaughter. When I saw that 2-year-old baby crossing the border alone, my heart was broken. If you haven't seen that video, you can go ahead and Google it and put in 2-year-old crossing border unaccompanied, and it'll break your heart. It'll absolutely break your heart. Joy Kirkland. Hey, Joy. If you mix a little lemon juice with the avocados, they won't turn brown. Okay? Especially if you smash and mix them, then freeze them. Okay. Thank you very much for the hint. I wouldn't know that. Have no idea. Would never have had any idea. What's up, Arizona guy? Barry, the little girl dropped off at the border was only 2 years old. Okay, you guys are confirmed that she was left with a list of names of people inside of our country. I hope they didn't pass her on. I hope they, like, no, we're just going to have to keep her here. William Flanagan, I'm sorry for the actions of my Canadian government. We don't hold you accountable. Yeah, I really hope they didn't just pass her on. TBC Brown, thank you very much. Ultra Fine Point. I don't think stores like Walmart should even fly an American flag over their stores unless they carry a majority of made in America products. Can you imagine? Yeah. And I understand Walmart is another corporation that just decided they're not going to do any more DEI stuff either. So that's a good side. Hey, Beth, how are you doing? Hey, Barry, can you wish my grandmother, Sienna, a happy 11th? Granddaughter, Sienna, a happy 11th birthday. It'll mean a lot to her coming from you. We love you. Sienna, have a very, very happy birthday. Your mom is very, very well loved here. She's very much appreciated, and I hope you have a fantastic birthday. And don't let your mom gyp you by having a birthday present right before Christmas. You get to have two. You know, I know some people try to say, oh, your birthday was last week, so you already got your Christmas present, but you get to get two. Was that wrong, Beth? Let me see. She's going to kill me now. Why did you say that? Dan St. Amant, as a Canadian, this country exports 70% of its economy to the USA. We have a very poor leader who's trying hard to install communist ruling. I wear a MAGA hat daily. What kind of products, I wonder, come over from Canada? Captain Danny Barrow, Pfizer will help them. He'll take this Zoloft and Paxil. I don't know where that stuff comes from either. Just another knucklehead. There's a federal employees union that is running the protest against Trump. He needs to break it up. I'm sure there are people in red states that would. Yeah, I agree. Dana Wright, Barry, have you ever seen a John Cusack money called Cell? This is what happened to the government employees. Now, I've never seen that movie, but now you have piqued my interest, so I will have to go pull it up and see if I can watch it. Ultra Fine Point, been a libertarian for years, but always voted for Trump in practice, and indeed he is a true libertarian. Non-interventionist foreign policy, no tax on tips. Yep, absolutely. No tax on overtime. No tax at all. Just kill it. Pat Ziegler, I really appreciate late you, Barry, and your family and mods. I don't get it in chat much, but I'm always here whenever it works. Always love your take on things and explanations. I greatly appreciate that. And Joy Kirkland again. This one is for Robin. Thank you, Robin, for sharing your husband with us on a daily basis. He's so much for people. Thank you very much. And I make sure to let her know how appreciated she is for allowing my time. Adamo Mucci, once Trump is finished, can he come down here and make Australia great again? Love your show, thank you. I know, I can't believe. Have you guys been following what's going on in England and how they've had almost 2 million people have signed a petition to take out the Prime Minister? China is paying tariffs Trump gave them in 2016. Keep them coming. So 10% additional on top of that. Charles Brown, thank you very much. And Jeffrey K., what's your opinion on what will happen to Pelosi, and what do you think about Kamala 2028? All right. Kamala 2028 ain't going to happen. She'll never survive primary. There will be somebody who will run against her, and she'll be toast. As for Pelosi, if they do what I think they're going to do, they're going to go after her. Now, she may be too old, they say, to put in jail, but they may take her money. I mean, go after her. She's cheated. She's absolutely done insider trading. So yeah, I would definitely go after her. If you broke the law, you broke the law. And they were going to put him away. Dr. Rashiyama removed the name from Tommy Radcliffe. Vishu. In North Carolina, it says it's too hard to get the FEMA trailers up there because they're too big. No trailers for... Leon Combs, a lot of our lumber up in North Dakota comes from Canada. Ooh, that might get pricey. And Jason Price, we will have enough jail cells for everyone. Seriously, the corruption is probably deeper than we all know. I think after we just read and what we just saw, we have a good idea at this point. And Dana, right, not a good movie. I was trying to be funny. Oh, okay. So I'm glad you said that because I was going to go check it out. For sure I was going to go check out the movie. And Born on the 4th with a late one here. I was a partner in a business for 30 years. If we conducted our business the way the government does, we wouldn't have lasted a week. Yeah, because it's not their money. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how much they take. They just go get some more. Just re-tax. Put some more tax out there. We don't care. We'll just keep sucking off these people and taking their money and making them come back to the trough so that we can do whatever we want. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a great night out there tonight. Thanks for tuning in on the second show. I know it's a little bit later than usual. But tomorrow I'm launching the Rumble. So I'm going to be putting that stuff up there. And tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'll give you a preview of the first one with John Amachukwu. Talk to you guys then.